In Manchester, rates of car crime are more than 2.5 times the national average. The affluent suburbs of Cheshire lie west of the city, and many of Manchester's criminals target the county looking for expensive cars. Roads travelled by commuters during the day are used by car thieves at night.
It's very, very easy now with the motorway to be anywhere within Greater Manchester within minutes. These offenders know that, they know the main arterial routes, and they choose to use these routes to take these stolen vehicles back to where they live.
To tackle the problem, police in Stockport have set up a specialist unit of cops. Patrolling in high-performance cars, these officers target Manchester's cross-border gangs. It's 11 p.m. and PC's Andy Torkington and Gavin Frith are on patrol in Gatley, 7 miles south of Manchester city centre.
Stand by for observations. An Audi A4 Cabriolet Mike Kilo 03 Charlie Echo Delta being stolen by means of burglary for keys. Last seen heading in the direction of the M56.
It's going to be your Withenshaw boy, so we'll make it to the border and just try and pick him up.
The car has been stolen in Cheshire, but Torkington believes a gang from the Withenshaw estate in South Manchester is responsible.
It's one of the areas that these lads service. They will commit a crime, steal a car, bring it back, and usually commit a crime in Stockport. So we drove to the border with Stockport and Withenshaw to cover the main arterial routes there to try and pick it coming in.
But they see a car run a red light.
Just come through the red light now, is it?
No, he just anchored up. Come straight through another red
Because he's so rough.
Juliet. Yeah, vehicle high speed altering the road just under 2 red lights. He's just gone into Tesco's Express car park now. It's a silver Peugeot 206.
The car's taken a cut through. They're obviously heading towards Withenshaw.
We're in pursuit now. We're just at the rear. We're going to come out onto Southmore Road. It's Southmore Road, Mike Kilo 52. 4 on board, Balaclava. It's Mike Kilo 52.
What the occupants were doing was pulling the hooded tops up and pulling them closer on the face to conceal their identity. You've got a very real fear as to why they're doing this. Are they going to jump out with a shotgun and point it at you and discharge it at your vehicle? Are they going to run over and attack you with knives or with a sword?
Can we have India 99, please?
Their call to India 99, the police helicopter, isn't going to help them. It's already tied up with a job on the other side of Manchester. But on the ground, 2 other cops from the city's undercover car squad, PC's Paul Fletcher and Mike Bundy, have heard the call. The undercover squad are used to dealing with violent car gangs.
If it does start getting nasty where it gets rammed or whatever, then we're there. Well, that's what we're in the business of, catching bad guys.
But Fletcher and Bundy are at least a 5-minute drive away. For now, Torkington and Frith are on their own. On the other side of Withenshaw, 2 other squad members, PC's Richard Fox and Richard Wilbraham, are looking for another gang who have just robbed an off-licence in neighbouring Cheshire.
The thing is, this car is stolen from Chorley, isn't it? Supposedly. It's a long way, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, and they're ending up in Withenshaw. It's the same team, which is cigarette breakers.
Yeah.
They've an idea where the getaway car, a stolen Audi TT, could have been dumped.
It's them round here again, all the time.
What you find is it follows a pattern. People who like Audis think, well, why pinch something different when I know where the gears are, I know how fast it can go around a corner, I know the handling. You get actually used to certain people pinching certain cars. Straight away when they said it was an Audi or something similar, I thought to myself, it's going to end up on Hull Lane.
It's standing out, isn't it?
Really? Oh, well, no.
There it is. That's the baby.
That's your one from the job in Cheshire.
Yeah, this is where they always park them. We found the TT CAS 3656 behind the flats Mount Hall Lane.
But the robbers have gone.
There's a large dual carriageway that goes all the way to where that particular offence occurred at the off licence, and you know, with your foot down in an Audi TT, you can be back in Withenshaw in 5 or 10 minutes. And from our experience over the years, they will take a certain route, come back to a certain location. You know, we employed those sort of skills and found the car.
armed with bars, the crowbars on the back seat. Could you appear and see me another vehicle, please, at the rear of, I think it's William Russell Court on Hall Lane, please?
An Audi TT in position that's standing stolen. There was a mark on it for officer safety. People on board may be in possession of weapons, iron bars. They're using a burglary at Bargain Booze in Northwich.
Lovely. For your information, the bar is on the rear seat. It's locked and secure at the rear of the flats on Hall Lane. If you can arrange recovery, we'll wait with it.
I'm sure if we hadn't had recovered it that night, they would have used it again the following night to commit further crimes.
The Audi's taken away for examination.
Mike Kilo 52, 4 on board, Balaclava.
On the border with Cheshire, Torkington and Frith are still pursuing the Peugeot.
Southmore Road towards the hospital.
They think the driver is heading to home turf, where they'll have an advantage over the cops.
These lads have headed to Wythenshawe. It's the area that they know, they're familiar with, they live there.
They know all the back alleyways, they know the rat runs, and they get back to where they're comfortable.
Fletcher and Bundy are still more than 2 miles away. But ahead of the chase, another cop, PC Brown, has a plan to stop the car. A stinger.
It's a bed of nails that you throw out across the road, hopefully in front of a vehicle that's being pursued. The vehicle runs over it and it slowly deflates the tyres.
The Peugeot is headed into the Wythenshawe estate, where PC Brown is waiting. But as the car heads for the trap, there's a problem. Torkington and Frith don't know Brown plans to use a stinger.
We shouted up over the radio to let them know that we're in the area with Stinger, but it was all happening that quickly that I'm not sure whether they heard us or whether they knew we were there.
If Brown gets it wrong, he could take out the cops too. The tyres have burst. Now the cops must stop the gang making a run for it.
Say. Out. Get out. Get your hand behind your back now. Get your hand behind your back. Get out that side.
One of the lads claims the car is not stolen.
991 all detained.
It's my mum's boyfriend's car. Mate, it's all legit.
So what are you all loaded up for, running from the cops then? It's not normal, is it?
We forgot to brake by accident.
Oh, listen, shut up. Don't even start. You've just done 2 red lights, you've gone off-road, and you've been involved in a pursuit. So don't give me this, I forgot to brake.
What me, we were breaking out and driving. It's all legit car.
But he admits he's been in trouble before.
I've been out of jail for 2 months now. I've been staying out. Man, I've been staying out.
You've been out, what were you in jail for?
Burglary. That's what I've been staying out. I've been out for 2 months now, getting in college and all that.
Burglary to do with cars?
Nah, burglary to do with houses.
You got them all as well, haven't you?
With the lads on the way to the police station, the cops admire PC Brown's handiwork with the stinger.
All 4, nice.
To sting all 4 tyres that I know of is very, very rare. It's very difficult and it's more luck than judgment.
Nice one. I think it was a shock to them.
At the police control centre, a call is coming in for an attempted theft of a car in Woodford, half a mile from the Cheshire border.
All patrols, informant has spotted 3 white males on his driveway. A Mercedes on driveway, Woodford.
No express lights up as well.
Around the area, fighting is taking place.
Murder's been started up. Right.
Just still on the line, mate. The engine has now switched off. I was trying to check the front of the house. 3 white males wearing black hoodies at the front of the house now on the driveway.
Woodford's not the sort of area you'd be passing through. It's tend to be one of those areas that get targeted by offenders using the A34 bypass to come from Manchester and steal vehicles and head back.
3 males trying to start a vehicle, Mercedes on the drive.
Undercover car squad officers PCs Brown and Fletcher are also on their way.
Some of the A34 towards the Chief.
Our travelling criminals from Wythenshawe, they'll hop in a little Nova or a Corsa, will go and get dropped off, and they'll just go and forage for what they can find.
Torkington and Frith are talking to the owner of the car the gang tried to steal.
Has it been in for any accident repair work or anything like that?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, it's warm.
I'm going to wait until the dog man.
When did you park it?
But nobody's come across the road while I'm leaving here.
Right, well, it won't be warm now, from 10:15. 9918. Just to confirm, we've got the bonnet up on this Merc, and it's hot, or it's warm I should say, so it has been started and revved as described. And we think that the spare key for the car was in the glove box, but because of this handbrake system it's got on it, we think that they were unsuccessful because they didn't know how to release the handbrake.
The cops are checking all the likely escape routes.
Our intention then was to get as many patrols in the area as we could and to try and sort of coordinate people at various junctions and just see if they popped up again.
Fletcher and Brown are watching from the main road.
So everyone's just plotting off now and waiting for the thieving little gits to show on the faces.
With the area surrounded, it's now a waiting game. "30 miles north, in Hayward, PC's Hannah Buxton and Phil Cross are searching for another stolen car.
Mike 1-4, we're looking for a black Escort. We decided that that was our car for that night. We were going to go up there and try and locate it with a view to locking these lads up.
But a call comes in over the radio.
What did he say then?
Located it.
8033, was that somebody who's with it?
The Escort's been ditched.
Chances are that they know the cops are onto them that night in that vehicle, so they then need another car. We thought, there's no point in going now. We know they're going to get something else, so we just stayed in the area.
The thieves could already be in another car. Cross and Buxton are checking out every car they pass.
Yeah, year is 1990.
Oh shit, Whiskey 407.
They've spotted some likely suspects, but they're having trouble keeping the car in sight.
What was it, a Ford car, wasn't it? Because we've been going the opposite way, we had to then turn around, worm our way through some traffic and get the other vehicles out of the way to go after it. By which time, when we get around the corner, the car's gone. Was it Whiskey 407? Yeah. Yeah, there's a Ford KA. 2 white males, both wearing baseball caps, visors down. So they've, whether or not they've nicked this one and dumped the Escort, I don't know.
Where is it?
Going towards the centre. We had a load of patrols in the area, and within a very short time, it was sighted, followed and stopped on the petrol forecourt.
Some of their colleagues are already on the scene.
All right. You know where them temporary roadworks are down there?
Well, what roadworks?
You came through there, you went through that red light there, that was against you. It was obvious that it wasn't the lads we were looking for. It was 4 decent lads just out for a night out, having a bit of fun. So have you had to drink? Nothing at all?
As Cross checks if the lads have been drinking, it's another car which attracts their attention.
Stop, Penny, stop.
Just had this massive crash. The gold Punto had gone into the back of a BMW. Nobody had hit it. It then decided to drive off. Yeah, just while we're at Tesco Express, there's been an RTA just outside. There's a gold-coloured Fiat Punto made off. Straight away we're thinking, well, why has it done that? It's obvious that the person's either drunk, disqualified, no insurance, or, quite frankly, seen all the cops and thinks, right, I need to get away from here straight away.
The car has disappeared, but Cross got a good look at it.
Yeah, it looked like an S-rate shape Fiat Punto. We've not seen it, I don't think.
While one car heads left, Cross and Buxton continue to try and head it off. Back in the wealthy suburb of Woodford, the search is continuing for the gang who fled after trying to start the Mercedes.
The lads are more than likely going to be going that way.
Yeah. Do you want to relocate?
Yeah, because show you where we are.
I'll have it, but I'll go off you.
We're there. Yeah. It's there, the house that they were going for.
While Fletcher and Brown try to head the gang off in the car, PC Talkington is out on foot with a police dog handler.
I'll just get on to Gav, see if we can get... The dog handler can hear in this field behind us sound of twigs breaking and so on and so forth, as if these offenders have gone this way. So we've just got the area plotted off at the moment, and we'll see if we can pick these lads up.
As Fletcher and Brown take up their new position, a house alarm suggests the gang must be close by.
As soon as that alarm went off, I was like, dink dank do, here we go. Thinking, well, there's got to be another house.
Right. We're not far off these, are we?
Fletcher and Brown call in the police dog, and it picks up a fresh trail.
So we're trying to find out what's set the alarm off.
The expensive cars are still on the drive, but the gang may have broken in to get the keys to them.
Well, around the house. You can taste it sometimes. There's nothing better than catching a burglar in the act of doing it. Absolutely. That's what you're in the job for. Sierra 845 on Indy 99.
The helicopter's thermal imaging cameras are brought in to help the search.
Roger, we're up Chester Road, outside number 366, because he's holding a torch up. The dog's tracked this house, the house alarm's going off, so they've obviously come this way, had to go to this house and anyway around this area.
I think it's a mistake for us to get back in the cars here.
It's a dog man there, so they've come through here.
They've obviously gone through there, haven't they?
Gone straight through.
Yeah.
The trail leads away from the alarmed house. The gang have found a way through the thin blue line.
We've actually made it across before we've got here. So in the open fields of the side now. It's just so frustrating. It's just like, it's like, I want to be the one who gets them, I want the brownie point. And guess right, just not quite quick enough. Tell you, lucky, lucky boys.
Just give us a street name for that, please.
Yeah, sorry, it's Rochester Street.
On the other side of town, the car involved in the hit and run has been found by another police patrol. PC's Cross and Buxton are on their way.
Fortunately, because there's so many cops in the area, it appears there's a policeman seen which way he's gone. He's obviously done one for some reason. So yeah, oh, he's there. I thought it was either going to be a drunk driver or somebody was wanted. So when the door opened and a young 17-year-old female got out, I was quite surprised, really. How much have you had to drink?
No.
Nothing at all?
Don't drink.
So why have you not stopped?
Because I were nosy in at you lot.
No, why didn't you stop after the accident? Have you got insurance?
I was scared, yeah, but not on that car.
So you're not insured, are you?
Not on that one, no. I was swapping.
So that's why you've not that's why you've not stopped, isn't it?
No.
So why have you not stopped?
Panicking.
Stay in the car, please.
The car isn't stolen, but the teenager is now facing much more than a charge of driving with no insurance. And the car she hit has just turned up.
Hello. Was it this one that was involved in the accident?
Yes, she just drove me back in there.
Are you? Are you all right?
You're all right, mate.
What damage have you got?
Knackered the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Be all right if it was a
You
bumper.
beeped at her 4 times to stop me.
Just fortunate we were all nearby, wasn't it, really?
And just as the girl thought things couldn't get any worse, her mum's arrived, and she's not happy.
I don't know what was worse for her, really. Being screamed at by her mum or being prosecuted by the police for what she's just done. So she was in a no-win situation there, really.
You'll have it on mirrors.
It's 4 a.m. and PC's Talkington and Frith are in Stockport.
9918.
An emergency call's going out to all cars in the area.
We've got a PC required now.
We responded to a PC requires assistance. That would be a call that a police officer would give in the most serious set of circumstances when they needed urgent assistance. In that scenario, every police officer in Stockport would drop what they're doing and would respond.
They're trying to get to the emergency fast. But even with their blues and twos on, the car in front is trying to get away from them.
Normally, you'd catch up to a vehicle, he'd move out of your way, you carry on, and he didn't. He just kept going.
9918 CK urgent. 9918. Yeah, we've got an urgent backup call in this town centre.
The cops have a difficult choice to make.
It was a hard decision for us because we had an officer who required assistance, and we've got a car that is now fleeing from us for unknown reasons.
The emergency has been answered by another patrol.
Juliet 9918, we're now in pursuit, Portwood roundabout towards the M60 motorway.
The car that's just run a red light is now Torkington and Frith's priority.
He was driving at a speed that was far exceeded the performance of that vehicle. It was a very, very dangerous example of driving.
It's a red light, Newbridge Lane onto Stockport Road towards Woodley. Still no vehicle details. It is raining, there's nothing else on the road.
A build-up of traffic ahead allows them to get a closer look at the car.
Vehicle continuing Stockport Road to green Honda Accord. That vehicle we were speaking about before.
As we've come up behind it, both Gavin and myself have instantly recognised that it's a Honda that's been chased 3 or 4 times earlier on in the week, and we were now behind it in exactly the same situation.
The driver has had cops on his tail only days before and knows how to shake them off on the speed humps.
Osborne Street, that's right, Osborne Street towards Bredbury Hall. 9918 in pursuit, Osborne Street. The vehicle is continuing Osborne Street towards Bredbury Hall, 50 miles an hour.
Speed humps are a nightmare for us. They really are, and criminals know that because they will literally write the car off going over them.
Broadway still Osborne Road towards Fence Lane.
But it's the car they're pursuing which runs into trouble first.
He's crashed. 9918 vehicle is right onto Bence Lane. He's hit a stationary vehicle, Bence Lane. He's gone down here, mate.
It's a dead end ahead.
Vehicle's going to be abandoned, Park Street.
The passenger is making a run for it, but the driver's run straight into the path of Torkington and Frith's car.
What have you done, broke your leg?
Broke my back.
I think it's your leg, mate. Just relax.
He needs an ambulance. The search for the passenger must wait until help arrives.
All right, there's an ambulance en route, pal. Just stay where you are. You're all right, okay, mate? I'm not going to move you because of your leg.
In High Lane, an affluent housing estate on the Cheshire border, there's been a sighting of 4 hooded youths tampering with cars on driveways.
Get to Zulu, Oscar.
It has all the hallmarks of the gang that slipped the net earlier in the night. Along with other patrols, PC's Richard Fox and Anna Mullin are searching the estate for the gang.
Plate 4, we've got one running. Stand by for direction. Top of Windermere.
Fox has spotted a shadowy figure.
I've got a vehicle here, but that's... stand by. Got the dog on Grassmere, just...
A man in a passing car has seen something.
Somebody just run towards you. Where's he gone now? Run back again. He's just run back towards you from me. Right. No worries, I'll go back round.
They think the suspect's gone to ground in the gardens. Once again, the dogs are called in to help.
It's fantastic because the dog will pick up, as long as police officers use their common sense and operate effectively away from the dog, they will indicate where the offenders have been. It's fantastic to see them work because invariably, most of the time, they will find the person that they're looking for.
While the dog searches for the gang, back in Bredbury, an ambulance has arrived to help the injured man.
Yeah. On the face of it, this lad's got a broken leg, which is a horrific injury, you know, and not something that you wish on anybody, but he's prepared at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive like an absolute maniac to get away from the cops because he's got a warrant out for no bail. Well, he's learned a lesson tonight. He's got a broken leg. I won't wish that on anybody, but it might make him think next time. So, it's down to him.
In High Lane, the police dog has found 2 men who the cops think may be responsible for the break-ins.
Turn round. What are you doing here? You don't know what you're doing here. You're lost.
A search of the garden where the lads were hiding uncovers some vital evidence.
Set of car keys to a newish Honda. which has either come with the vehicle to this location or they've just done a burglary and got the keys and the car's nearby somewhere.
Now Fox needs to find out exactly what they've been up to.
You can see this vehicle here has been noticed the interior lights on it initially, but you can see from looking in the inside of it that it's been rifled through. Glove box has been gone through. I imagine that if I was to do that, it would open. We realised quite early on that these characters had tried to get into every single car on this estate. Broken into that one that way. Probably talking hundreds, possibly. So we had to then start a physical check of every driveway, every house on this fairly large estate.
Right, stay there, I'm just going to do a quick search.
Torkington and Frith have arrived to help. One of the arrested suspects turns out to be a familiar figure.
That's that lad. That's the one who's got the Merc estate.
Sorry mate, you're not in a position to make demands.
We've instantly recognised him. He's on all the briefings. He's one of our main persistent offenders on the division and someone that we've been targeting. And all it did was confirm all our suspicions that not only had he been involved in this job, but also the job with the Mercedes.
What are you doing up here?
Why is it against the law to walk about?
Well, it's against the law to burgle, which is what you're doing. Well, you are burgling. You're a thief, mate.
You got treated
Listen,
by burgled or anything?
relax. No one's interested in your opinion. Just be quiet.
10 to 6 in the morning, in the middle of a residential estate. You've been caught.
Yeah.
It's been a long night for the car squad, but at least two of the gang are on their way to the cells.
Crime changes all the time and people are trying to find new ways of committing crime. But we're on the case before they are, because just as they're working out what's the next crime they're going to commit and a next method, we're also doing exactly the same thing. Anyone that's involved in violence, robberies, any types of offences like that, we are going to go out and get them, and we're arresting more and more of them every year.
Investigations into the multiple break-ins are still ongoing. The driver who ran in front of Torkington and Frith's car was convicted of dangerous driving and given an 8-month prison sentence, suspended for 2 years. The 17-year-old who hit a car at the petrol station was charged with driving without due care and attention and failing to stop for the police. And the car pursued to Wythenshawe was stolen by the 15-year-old. He was convicted of theft of a motor vehicle and given 6 months detention in a young offenders institute.